Now, I've called part 2 of this morning's lineup, Positive and Negative, understanding that both use spiritual power. We tend to think that if we are operating positively, then that's something really dynamic and it counters anything negative. But negativity is an attitude, is a perspective. So when you're looking at things negatively, because you are an angelic being, you are still drawing on spiritual power. You can't draw on anything else. So you are either, as a choice, fueling your positive attitude towards life or your negative attitude towards life. And you are equally successful, positively and negatively, because you are drawing on your power to make those choices that you then create and consolidate into form. What we have to do, of course, is to concentrate on the positive of this. We're not left here alone. We come equipped with a grab bag. Now, I've never been in first class on an aeroplane. I don't like aeroplanes. I get a nosebleed standing on a stool. But I believe in first class, you get a grab bag, and there's a pair of slippers in there, and there's a face cloth in there, and there's some face cream in there, everything that you will need for the journey. We are similarly equipped. We come here similarly equipped for the journey that we're undertaking on earth. And I've asked specifically, where have I put it? Asked specifically, now this is usually invisible with me, but this is my grab bag. And you each have an equal grab bag with you at this time. And in here are all the spiritual powers that I will ever need in life to be effective, to change this world, to maintain myself, to spread out love and harmony to the planet and to every soul on the planet. So let's have a look at some of the things that we've got in here. If I can find them. Yep. That's the first thing. What have I got here? I have a sculpting hammer and I have a sculpting chisel. Now, Michelangelo, the great artist and painter and sculptor, believed that in the block of granite that he was about to work on, the sculpture that he wanted to create was already there. It simply needed to be freed by him chipping away at the extraneous material. That's what we can do. We are equipped. We are sculptors. Our thoughts sculpt this world. And you might say, well, we're not doing a very good job, are we? Look at the world. But that's because there are so many souls that are sculpting in a negative way. And as Joseph says, and as the Persian gentleman says, one soul working for the light is equal to 1,000 working for the darkness. And so we have to understand that at core, this world is the angelic heaven that it was created to be. It's still there. But what we've done as mankind is wrap around that core the heaviness, the granite of our thoughts since the time of the fall. And what are we doing as mankind currently? Creating each day more granite. Not more light, but more granite. And so we need people that understand that they've got one of these and they've got one of these. And that each day they can chip away via their focus at the way the world looks and the way that the world acts. We have to maintain our focus. As powerful you, exclamation mark people, we have to maintain our positive focus. Each day we have to look at how we want the world to be and to hold that vision in our mind's eye. Never to deviate from it, to say, this is the world. Anything else is a lie. Anything else are chips and flecks of granite that I am chipping away at. And so I will use this and I will use this every day of my life to make a difference. And you can think what you like, But I know what I want from this world. I know what the divine wants from this world. I know what the angelic host wants from this world. I know what Joseph and his soul group want from this world. And I will play my part as a powerful you, exclamation mark, being to bring that world into being. So each day you can chip away at the granite. Thank you. I don't know whether I should give this to Jane.
Quite safely.
You're only allowed plastic scissors, aren't you? That's the thing. Now, what else have we got in the grab bag? Lots of things that powerful you people need. Oh, blimey. That's... do you want to come out? I'm not coming out. You're coming out. Right. Always wanted one of these. Because each person on earth is a magician. When we are children, we believe in magic, don't we? And each day is magical, isn't it? Remember when a weekend was 3 weeks long? Remember when all the possibilities were there and none of the negatives? We could do whatever we wanted. Remember when we were filled with energy? Remember, in some of our cases, when we could see spirit people. But what happens as we grow older? We are encouraged not to see spirit people. We are encouraged to be sensible. We are encouraged to be materially minded. Magic's all right, but it's the stuff of fairy stories. It doesn't exist. Well, of course it exists. Because as spirits, as the angelic beings that we really are, we truly are, we can create whatever we want to create. We are magicians. But weighing against that, we have years of being told otherwise. But that's not true. That's smoke and mirrors. Whatever we bring to mind, we create. It's just unfortunate that a lot of people choose to create negative things. I'm ill, and so I will attract more of that illness via my belief in that illness. I'm poor, so I will attract more poverty to myself via my belief in that poverty. I can't do anything, and so I will attract more of that belief, more of those vibrations to myself because I believe that I can't do anything. Do you remember Soti? Soti believed in magic, and it was, what was it? Izzy wizzy, let's get busy. And magical things would happen. And that's what we need to remember every day, that as powerful you, exclamation mark, people, we can bring magic into this world. And again, it's a matter of reinforcing our belief that the world is as we want it to be. None of us in here want there to be war. None of us in here want there to be disease. None of us in here want to have their liberty threatened or other people's liberty to be threatened. None of us in here want people to be frightened of death. None of us in here want people to reject the God that they are a part of. And so it's important that each day we spend some time with our magic wand, waving that magic wand over those areas of this world that we want to change, and saying, this is the way it is. Let's get busy today. Let's change our world. Let's see the world that we want. Let's see people getting on with each other. Let's see wars ending. Let's see honesty rather than deception surfacing. Let's see kindness becoming apparent in our societies. Let's see everybody getting on with everybody else, and let's see people reaching within themselves and discovering that within themselves there is a whole different world that they can bring out through the magic that they behold. So, we're sculptors, we are magicians, but we're also, now I hope each of you has brought your teaspoon. Who hasn't? That's terrible. Have you brought a fork instead? That's okay, that'll work as well. Oh, because not only are we magicians, but we are magnets. Every person in here, every powerful you, exclamation mark, person in here is a magnetic person. There was a phrase bandied about in spiritualist churches when I used to take services at spiritualist churches, which was like attracts like. And it was bandied about because it happens to be true. Like does attract like. Whatever our dominant vibrations are, our dominant beliefs are, we draw them to ourselves like a magnet. And so we have to be very careful, because we might in a morning draw to ourselves a vision of a new world, and then in an afternoon, via the magnetism that we have, say, I doubt that that's going to happen. We have to attract only positivity all the time. We have to attract positivity in that we are brave enough to take a stance with regard to how we live our lives. And if somebody says, what do you believe in? We don't say, well, nothing much really. We tell them what we believe in. We tell them why we believe in it. And if they think we're idiots, that's fine. But we know what we know. And so we have to sow seeds every day of our lives, positive seeds. We have to attract more of those positive seeds towards ourselves. And I'll show you with the next thing in the swag bag how that law of attraction works. And so can I give you the one? Be careful. Don't zap anybody with it. And this, you know this is valuable. Back in the drawer tonight. Okay. Now, I'm particularly proud of this next item. And I say that you draw towards yourself that which you believe to be true, because the next powerful you exclamation mark segment I wanted to examine was that we are each a builder, each a construction worker. And I thought, wouldn't it be great if I could have a hard hat to demonstrate this particular segment? And we have a friend who sends me things every so often. He'll send me construction kits, and he'll send me bits and pieces so that I can build things and put things together. And he didn't know what I was doing. He knows that I'm at the sanctuary, but he doesn't know that we work spiritually. And he said, I've sent you a parcel. There might be something in it that you can use on your next talk. And he'd said that sarcastically. And he'd found this, and it arrived 2 days ago. Now, it does double because it says fire chief on the other side, which has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But we are talking about this side of things because we've got a trowel here and we've got a hard hat here, because each of us, each powerful you, exclamation mark, person in this room is a construction worker. In that, every day we build bricks of belief around ourselves. And we contribute bricks of belief to the world around us. Now, there are a lot of dodgy builders out there, aren't there? I know that through personal experience. I know that because once I asked someone to fix the flat roof on my garage, and it was highly recommended. And 5 months later, after several attempts, and he'd been paid, I'd paid him early in good faith, he disappeared. And it was quite frightening to stand in the garage on a rainy day and to see the rain pouring through the roof, down the side of the wall and towards the junction box. But I survived. Other dodgy builders, we'll sort out your backyard, said a couple of dodgy builders. We'll make sure that the flagstones, we'll take them up, we'll put new ones down, and they will slope down to the gate, so that when it rains, all the rain will sluice away out of the gate and away from your backyard. Well, whenever it rains now in the backyard, there is a beautiful lake. Dodgy builders. And I bring up the subject of dodgy builders because there are so many dodgy builders in terms of spirituality around our world that are putting inferior bricks into the creation of tomorrow by what they believe in and build around themselves today. We have to make sure that the bricks that we build into reality are superb, that we are old school builders, builders that you can trust to do a proper job. And doing a proper job means that we don't fall into the global trends of saying everything's going wrong. We have no power. There's nothing we can do. Instead, we have to build the bricks that we believe in into society. The cement of society we create day by day. We are angelic beings, and it's the nature of angelic beings to create. And as angelic beings, if we want to make something, we simply think it into being, and it's there in front of us. And when we don't want it, we just think it away again. And we've forgotten that. We are builders in that respect now. So we might have to put things together materially because we believe we have to do. But the things that we believe in, we construct around us. The bricks that we believe in, we create and layer up in front of us and around us. So we have to make sure that we build around ourselves light, that we build around ourselves inspiration, that we build around ourselves protection, that we build around ourselves a vibration that allows us to be in the world but not of the world. And then we contribute those bricks daily to the global experience. And those bricks are stronger than the dodgy builder's bricks. And so every day we contribute bricks that knock out of the way the dodgy bricks and replace them with something more substantial, more lasting, more spiritual, more godlike. So again, it is down to us believing in the best for the world, believing in the best for every soul in the world, believing in the best tomorrow that we can see, and to visualize that tomorrow and realize that by visualizing it, it's not imagination, we are actually building it. We are construction workers. Now don't all ask me for this hat afterwards because this is mine. Now similarly, we're construction workers. Now there's a lot of vicious, violent stuff here today, isn't there? Because this is a demolition hammer. Not only are we construction workers, we are demolition workers. Because our thoughts have the power to deconstruct that which is no longer needed. Back to the analogy of how we work as angels. As angels, if we wish to create something, Joseph always uses the example of a chair. He says, if I want to create a chair, I think of the chair, and the chair appears in front of me. And I can alter that chair according to what I want it to be until I've got it in perfection in front of me. And then when I no longer want the chair, I simply deconstruct it. I think it away. I put it back into the ether until I need it again or don't need it again. And those molecules that were the chair, those God molecules, creative molecules, can then be used as something else. Somebody else can take a chair out of the ether or whatever they want out of the ether and put it back when they don't want it. But we believe in the constructs around us to the extent that we forget that as angelic beings we can also deconstruct them. We can break them down, and we have to break them down. And so not only is it important that we look at this world in its perfect state and help to create that world, but we also have to look at what is wrong in our world. And a lot of people say to me, well, no, there's nothing wrong, everything's right. And Joseph explains it thus: unless you know that something is out of balance, how can you put it right? If you simply accept that everything is fine and dandy, it doesn't mean it's fine and dandy. And you can see in our world that there are areas that need demolition. And so, every day we construct, we see the perfect world that we want, but we also have to take away those aspects of that world that we no longer feel are necessary. So we feel that people are being harmed, we see them as no longer being harmed, being surrounded by the constructive side of the angelic presence. If we feel that there are aspects of life where we are being deceived, where our liberty is being taken away from us, then we have to see those aspects as being deconstructed and replaced with positive, godlike aspects of life. So, construct and deconstruct, but be aware that we're doing it. That's very important. Most people do this subconsciously every day of their lives. Why is this happening to me? Because you believe it's going to happen to you. Why doesn't the world change? Because you don't believe it can change. You are a powerful you, exclamation mark, being. Let me share with you, you can say to them, some of the truths of life, how you can change things here. And some of them will take it on board, and some of them will think, what a load of nonsense. Doesn't matter. You're planting seeds, constructive seeds, and they might not react to you today, but tomorrow they might just think, wait a minute, there's something in this, I will investigate it. So be careful in your constructions, be careful in your demolitions. Oh. See how I believe that I will not be hit on the head several times as a result of handing that over. And finally, I hope this works on the wall. There we go. Each of us does this every day of our lives. I didn't want too strong a beam. I don't want to take anybody's eye out. But you see, we breathe in and breathe out materially, don't we? That's the way that we survive. Breathe in oxygen, breathe out, is it carbon dioxide? And that is a rhythm that takes place subconsciously on a material level all the time. But that, as above, so below. That is a reflection of how we operate as spiritual, angelic beings. Because there are pulses of divine light and intent and purpose that emanate out from the Godhead to us and through us. And so every minute we are breathing in light as spiritual beings. And we are giving out light as we breathe out as spiritual beings. Now, that happens to every spirit on earth, every soul on earth. Were it not to happen, they would not exist. So we are radiators of the light. But in many cases, with many souls, the light that they breathe in is not the light they give out, because the light that they give out is filtered by their beliefs, by their intents, by their agendas, by their desires, and it becomes polluted and lessened and weakened, so that they don't know they're giving it out, but the light that they give out is of very little use anyway. We have to understand that we breathe in the white light, the God light, and it is not ours to hold on to, just as we can't hold on to a breath. We've got to breathe it out, and we have to breathe out that white light for the benefit of all mankind, of all humanity. And so we have to be aware in our times of stillness of that divine breath, that we breathe in from the Godhead divine light, energy, life, creativity, harmony. And then with each out breath in our still times, we can breathe that light out. We can see it infusing every soul on earth. We can see it infusing the earth itself. We can see it infusing situations that we feel are way out of line. We can see it calming people down. We can see it causing harmony to burst out in troubled areas. We can see it reminding people of what they are. Because when we send it out as pure light, it touches not the head mind, but the heart mind. And when people are bombarded with light constantly, that light opens up their hearts and they begin to think differently, not from the head, but from the heart. And that's what we have to get them to do. Because the connection to God that we each have, the connection to our angelic inheritance, doesn't come from here at all. It comes from here. And it's something that I know Tony and I have discussed on many an occasion, that it's hard for some souls to understand that we have two minds. This mind allows us to function on this level, to make sense of the materiality of this world, and to say there is something chasing me, it's hairy, it's got big teeth, I'd better run away. So we survive on this level because of this. But this isn't where we come from. And every spiritual thought we have, every creative thought we have, comes not from here, but from here. Our connection as beings of light to the God that we are a part of comes from here. And so we have to reconnect to our heart. It's not difficult. In the last event, we went through a meditation to take you down from the head mind into the heart mind and back again. But we have to operate more from the heart. When we operate from the heart, we are effective. When we operate from the head, we are doomed. We are surviving. We're not here to survive. We're here to evolve. We're here to love. We're here to grow. We're here to become more. And we can only do that by operating from the heart. So we have to spread that light out. We breathe it in. We spread it out. Very weakly, it looks like on the wall, but we breathe it in and we spread it out. We radiate the light. And we are powerful exclamation mark beings capable of radiating out the light. We have to remember that. So, we are a construction worker. We are a demolition worker. We are a magician. We are a radiator of the light. We are a sculptor. All those things. Every one of us. Doesn't matter what we were told at school. I remember that maths exam where it said, what was it, 8 out of 100, hopeless. But then in later years, I realized that it was what I was being told in certain areas that determined that I couldn't do things. And I realized in later years and on the spiritual path that I could do things, that I could understand things. It was simply that I'd been told that I couldn't. And to round off this section, we have been told so many times that we can't do certain things in life. We have to remember what we can do. We are world changers. We are world builders. As angelic beings, we actually made this world. We set out and we thought, well, what would be a good playground to visit? Where would it be nice to learn something? How do we do that? I know. We'll build into the matrix of this new planet exactly what is needed to bring out of us certain experiences if we travel through it in a material life. And we put together this wonderful crystalline world. And I've seen it. And it is wonderful. And it is crystalline. And it is luminous. It is full of color and life and light. But that's not what we're told. It's a material world. We have a material life. We're on a material path. Things are going to happen to us at certain stages in our life, inevitably, not inevitably. When we reawaken our angelic memories, then we transform our lives and we become radiators of light for other people on this world. And the politicians are not going to change this world. And I'm sorry, but for the most part, the clergy are not going to change this world either. And those who say they're going to change this world are not doing anything about it. We, people like us, change this world. We are supremely powerful. And that's not an arrogant thing to say. It's an actual fact as the angelic beings that we are. So we've got to reawaken those memories. And remember that we have this swag bag with this extremely expensive Hessian sack that contains everything that we need on our journey through life. If we want health, then we attract it towards ourselves. If we want to be comfortable, then we attract that towards ourselves. We don't examine or acknowledge lack. If we want inspiration, then we attract it towards ourselves. We don't run around, as many people do, saying, what would you do? And then they tell you, you might have 100 people tell you what they would do, and you agree with the one that agrees with you in what you were going to do anyway. And then it all goes wrong and you blame them. No, we attract towards ourselves what we need in order to make this journey. It's a challenging journey, but we are well equipped. We have all the tools that we need. We are angelic beings. Now, at this point, I'd like to share another tiny recollection. And there's a couple that we sometimes go out with. And they were having a beer. And we don't drink. That's not holier than thou attitude. We never did drink very much, but we found that when we did drink, the morning after, we felt terrible. And we thought, I don't want these pains in my arms and legs, and I don't want to feel hungover, despite only having a glass of something. So we stopped drinking. So we were having mineral waters, and our friends, this couple, were having beers. And the gentleman of the couple, I think, had had rather too many beers. And he turned and he said, you are my life. You are everything. I adore you. I love you so much. You're wonderful. And his wife teared up. And she said, is that you speaking, or is it the beer? And he said, no, it's me speaking to the beer. Quarter past, isn't it, Tony, the coffee. Right, okay, let's have... I don't want to go into the next section because that will take more than a quarter of an hour.
Michael, I wonder whether you could, fascinating what you're just saying, I wonder whether you could say how the World Meditation Alliance fits into that.
Yeah.
What you just said.
Yes, the World Meditation Alliance is a focus for all the angelic, positive traits that we have been talking about. The World Meditation Alliance is, I would like to say, different than many meditational gatherings in that it doesn't focus on the individual at all, on the individual members within the group meetings, but focuses instead on the God power that each of us has access to as that radiator of light, breathing in light, giving out light. And it also acknowledges, and we've been told over the years that we've been doing this, that the pulses that come out from the Godhead send out love and send out specific instruction and encouragement, specific areas of intuition, which can either be rejected or accepted by all souls on earth, but they are made available. And they're very powerful. And so at specific times, further intentions are added to the core of intentions that we've received already. What the world needs, not what we want for the world, but what the world needs. And so we sit as the World Meditation Alliance to allow those vibrations to flow through us as conduits. We put ourselves to one side and we say, we know what's coming in, we know what the intention is, over to you. Now, why do we need to work as conduits? Why don't those vibrations simply impinge on all souls and infuse all souls at different times and do their job? They don't do their job because this world is so darned heavy. It's like trying to get through thick treacle. And the vibrations that are reaching this planet from the Godhead are so high that they cannot impact on souls unless they are stepped down slightly. And we are the steppers down. We are the conduits between the vibrations and the world. And so we sit there and say, forget about us. We don't know what we're doing, but you do. And we allow those vibrations on a weekly basis to be sent out to where they are most needed and to affect the world in the way that they are supposed to do. And we always receive instruction as to what the next vibration is. And it will say, for example, during this time, people will revise their views of spirituality, or they will have a psychic experience and wonder where it's come from. And during each period that we are given, exactly what we are told will happen to people happens to them. Because we're not making this up, it comes from higher authority. And it's good that to get ourselves out of the way as often as we can. That's a very powerful thing to do as the angelic beings that we really are. It's something that I should add to how we operate as angels. Whenever I need to do something, and we'll discuss this later on, and I don't know what I'm doing, the powerful thing to do is not to say, right, I'll go and do it and make a mess of it. It is to say, I do not know what I'm doing. But as an angel, as part of the Godhead, I have access to what I should do. I have access to the inspiration and guidance that I need at this time. So over to you. And the World Meditation Alliance is an over to you movement. It's not about us. It is about us, but not about us as individuals. It's about us as the whole of humanity. It's about us as the planet. It's about us as all life here. And it's about the need for positive change and the most effective way to bring that change about. And so we sit weekly, and Tony sits weekly and has done for how long now? It's a number of years. It's a number of years, isn't it?
I think 3 years.
Is it 3 years? And we've received instructions for 3 years to send out to the world. And powerful you, exclamation mark, is a great term to use with regard to the World Meditation Alliance. Because in putting ourselves to one side, we instantly become the powerful you that we are. And we draw in and send out vibrations, light, harmony, peace, love, decency on behalf of us all. And so, are you all World Meditation Alliance members?
Yes.
Yes? Yes? Great, 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 great. Any non-Meditation Alliance members? Good. We're in good company. Yeah, so that's what we're doing, of course, Tony. Does that answer your question?
That just emphasises the importance of the fact that we can do something. We are powerful, exactly what Michael's been saying, but in the World Meditation Alliance, we are doing something.
Yes, it's not enough to be powerful and to know you're powerful.
Yeah.
You have to do something with it. And it is difficult. We find it difficult dealing with a greater audience at times to say, you need to do something. And it's back to that, well, on Friday night I'll have my beer. On Saturday night I'll watch the telly. I'll do something tomorrow. No, there is no tomorrow. You are part of everyone. You are part of everything. How can you ignore that which you are when that which you are is suffering? You need to do something. It's great to have spiritual knowledge, but you don't take spiritual knowledge and put it in your inside pocket and walk away with it and do nothing with it. That spiritual knowledge is given to us for a reason. And that reason is to uplift every soul on the planet and change the planet. We are at a pivotal moment in our history. Make no mistake, a pivotal moment. And what we are doing is the World Meditation Alliance will determine the future of civilization. And Joseph talked about it in the books years ago. And things seemed to be fairly quiet at the time when the books were brought through. And we thought, what's he talking about? You know, I particularly thought, what's he talking about? Because I had no recollection of what he'd actually said. But to read it back, and he talked about the current state of the world, that it was on the edge, and people during the live trance demonstrations would often say, how long have we got left, Joseph? And he'd say, I'm not telling you. Because if I tell you, via you being a powerful you, exclamation mark, being, you will draw in that as a reality. And so I will consolidate that end date by telling you what the end date is. It's up to you when the end date is, and it should be up to you that there won't be an end date. You need to do something. You need to work for the light. You're the ones that will make a difference. And that's what the World Meditation Alliance is about.
Every one of you that is part of the World Meditation Alliance is contributing to those changes that are happening.
Absolutely. And you're not just doing it during the time of the meditation. You carry the intention with you for the duration of the intention. So whether you're having a cup of tea, whether you're going for a walk with the dog, whether you're talking to somebody that knows nothing about what you do spiritually, you are spreading that vibration. You act as a conduit en masse during the meetings, but you also act as a conduit for the rest of the time. No matter where you are, what you're doing, day and night, you're working for the light, and that's a wonderful, wonderful thing to do. And you can do it quietly. Nobody knows that you're doing it, but you are making such a difference and such a needed difference here. And the meetings will pull us back from the brink. You wouldn't think so when you look at the news, but they will and are pulling us back from the brink. And we have seen things happen over the last couple of years. They say, well, this will fall. You'll see this disappear. This will build up. And it's all happened. And they said recently that the dominoes will fall. In other words, you will see in society one thing being revealed that will then topple another domino that will reveal something else, that will reveal something else, that will reveal something else, until people are faced with the truth, the spiritual truth. The problem with that is that even when faced with the spiritual truth, many souls don't want to recognize it. No, I'm comfortable with this. I'm comfortable being in pain. I'm comfortable being confined. I'm comfortable being told things so that I don't have to make decisions. And that's where the power is needed and constantly will be needed. Come on! Understand what you are. Come on! Wake up. Come on, investigate what you are. How can you live and die on this planet without investigating what you are? Aren't you at least curious? Have we got any beer in the fridge? That's the task we have as well, isn't it?
Michael, thanks for clarifying that. That's wonderful.
Okay.
Shall we have a break now?
I think we will, yes, because the next part would take longer than
Yeah.
it would cut into our coffee break.
We
Thank
ca-
you
we
for your
can't have-
attention this morning.